Hey guys, OG Albino here, bringing you guys our next stat prediction video for the new Pokemon that are coming out in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLCs in the next few months. Today we are going to be talking about Iron Crown, the future Paradox version of Cobalion. If you guys are excited for this video today and you like this type of content, be sure to drop a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3,000. I'd really appreciate if you help me out. Plus, it's really easy. You just go down there and you click a button. No harm, right? But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and kind of jump on into it. If you missed our videos on both Raging Boar and Archaludon the last few days, please go check those out. They should be on the channel, the last two videos, in fact, if I'm, timing these guys correctly. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Iron Crown, what I think its typing will be, what I think its stats will be, move pool, and then some potential cool partners for it and things like that. So yeah, with that being said, we can kind of jump on into it. We can start off with what we do know about Iron Crown here. What we do know is that it is a future Paradox version of Cobalion. And that's it. Just like Raging Bolt, they really only show these guys off and then told us their names after the fact. We know nothing about their typing, their stats. We know what its ability is going to be. I lied. We know that it is going to be Quark Drive. It is a future Paradox Pokemon, and they all have that ability, which means its highest stat will be boosted in the electric terrain, which is definitely really cool. But yeah, other than that, we can kind of jump into it and see exactly what we're rocking with here. Now, let's jump into our team builder right here, right? And show off the team builder, show off big Cobalion right now. Now, we have Cobalion, Virizion, and Iron Leaves in here. We can look at these three. We're obviously based on Cobalion, and Iron Leaves is the other part of the trio that we have thus far. Iron Leaves is a Psychic type, and because of that sole reason, I do think that this whole line and this whole trio will get that Psychic typing, replacing their original Fighting typing. So instead of Steel Fighting, it's going to be Steel Psychic, just like Virizion went from Grass Fighting, Grass Psychic. So we have our typing right there, right? I'm pretty confident it is going to be Steel Psychic, which is a pretty incredible typing, by the way. We have Pokemon like Jirachi, Pokemon like Metagross. What other Steel Psychics do we have? I know those are the two that always pop up off the top of my head. Steel Psychic. And Bronzong, Solgaleo, Necrozma, Duskmane. So, in pretty elite company there, that's an incredible defensive typing. And alongside the coverage that I think this thing will get, it'll be a pretty darn big threat. So, definitely really excited about that aspect of Cobalion. Or, I guess, Iron Crown in this regards. Now, I do want to point out something interesting between both Cobalion and Virizion right here. Make the screen a tad bigger, and I'm going to kind of just swap between these two guys. I want you guys to kind of let me know what you see when I'm swapping between these two guys when it comes to their base stat total. It's the exact same, right? Obviously, they're a pretty similar line, and they come from the same line. It's the exact same, and if you look at their stats are incredibly similar. The only thing that changes is their SPDEF stat and their defense stat. Other than that, their stats are completely mirrored, right? We have 129 SPDEF on Virizion. We have 129 defense on Cobalion. Other than that, we are very, very similar. So, we're going to be taking that into account. We're going to be taking into account that these Pokemon will be 590 BST, matching Iron Leaves. So, having the same base stat total. Take into account the, relationship between Cobalion and Virizion's defense and special defense. And we're going to also take into account the fact that all of these numbers at the end of the base stats have to be even, as all of the future Paradox Pokemon have an even number at the end of their stats. I guess each one of their base stat totals are going to be an even number. So, with that being said, my proposal for our Iron Crown is pretty boring, right? The most realistic one. It's going to be 90 HP, 130 attack, 108 defense, 70 special attack, 88 SPDEF, and 104 speed. If we look at Iron Leaves, it is exactly that, just with the defense and the special defense swapped. Now, I think this is a great thing for Cobalion if this ends up being the case. Obviously, a very fast Psychic and Steel type, going to be very, very strong offensively, especially if we get similar moves to something like Iron Leaves. If we get, close combat as an option for a coverage move, maybe potentially going Terra Fighting, obviously getting Iron Head and getting access to the signature move in Psyblade, which I do think is going to be a signature move, but we'll talk about that. Mega Horn, a bunch of different things like that. There's definitely some really cool options for Cobalion here. I'm really hoping it keeps some of the moves that Cobalion gets in particular, though. Obviously, getting access to Volt Switch as the main one. This thing with momentum would be absolutely incredible. Sword Dance is going to be great, but then even like Taunt and Thunder Wave, and then obviously Zen Headbutt is a potential option. You know, if we want to flinch some things down, it doesn't end up getting Side Blade for God knows why. But that's going to be my most likely idea for Cobalion, right? I really think that there's going to be just a mirror of Iron Leaves, just on the defense and special defense side, swapped. What I would love to see from this thing is being a little bit more of a mixed attack. Maybe we take that HP or that attack stat and we take out 20, maybe to 110, and then we have the special attack go to 90. Maybe we take a little bit out of that defense in that special defense or something similar and have it go 110 attack, 110 special attack, something similar to that, allowing it to be that mixed special attacker with access to Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, and Psychic, potentially Calm Minding up and winning that way. I think that could be a really cool aspect of this Pokemon. I think something that makes Jirachi so good is its ability to hit from both sides. So I really would like that aspect of it. I'm not super hopeful though. I really do think that the most likely thing we are going to get is going to be a mirror of the Iron Leaves. Now, good partners for this Pokemon. Obviously, something like a Pincurchin setting up the electric terrain is going to be nice. I also really do like the aspect of like Tapu Koko when that Dex comes, or when Koko enters Dex, or whenever that might be. And then other typical electric terrain abusers could be nice. Now, we also want things that can break through potential steel types that might annoy our Psychic and Steel friend. You know, that's obviously a big wall to it potentially. So a good offensive fighting could obviously be very nice. I think a Great Tusk would be a great hazard setter with this thing as well. Really bullying the dark types as well that might want to switch in and, you know, threaten this guy out. So there's definitely some really cool options here for our Iron Crown. I think it'll be a really cool Pokemon nonetheless. And I'm really hoping that it's a little bit more unique than otherwise. As for its signature move, I do think it is going to be Psyblade. It could be something different. It could be something predicated off that steel attacking stat, but based on the fact that its special signature move for the Iron Leaves is coming off of that psychic typing that I think all three of these Pokemon are going to share, I think they're all three going to share that signature move. If it was a grass type, you know, blade move that Iron Leaves got, I would think that Cobalion was getting something similar on the steel side, but unfortunately I just really don't see that being the case at the moment. But again, it would be really cool. I really hope so, but not 100% on that, obviously. Yeah, with that being said, that's kind of my predictions today. Next video is probably going to be Drifloon. I know Odie has been yelling in the comments about the last couple videos. I'm sure he'll yell about it in this one before I get to this point. So it'll probably be Drifloon. It might be next week though, because we have some Draft League games coming up on the channel soon. If you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like on the video, like I said, as well as subscribe to the channel. And I do want to give a big shout out to our channel members this month. We'll start off with the Bagon tier, which consists of D-Double, Olivia Sama, Zeke, Goosefart, Matrix, Odds Are, and Endless Gadgets. Our Shelgon tier, which is occupied by Thriller, and then our Salamence tier with Big Mouth and Noah. Big shouts to you guys. I really appreciate the help. If you want to become a member, there's some pretty cool perks down there. Go check it out. Yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.